For a third day in a row, this popular City Place pot shop, illegal pot shop behind me, has been shut down by police. A cafe has been targeted by raids since Monday, but continued to restock and reopen every day this week. In fact, police went as far as installing a steel door onto the unit here to try and keep this business closed for good. But I'm being told that someone actually broke in through that window last night to get back inside. And I can tell you that we have been seeing a steady stream of customers all day long. Now tonight, why police are not laying criminal charges against these persistent lawbreakers and what other tactics are being used to try and crack down on the illegal cannabis stores.
We're looking at how we can further reinforce any entry points, and we will do what we have to do. And ultimately, if we have to brick up places with brick and mortar, then we will do that.
It's been a consistent back-and-forth battle. Officers shut down the pot shops, lay provincial charges, and change the locks. But the very next day, these illegal businesses are back in operation. For the first time, police installed a steel door that still couldn't keep them out. So what comes next if a steel door can't keep these shops from operating?
Well, actually, the steel door did. It was a window they broke.
The illegal pot shop chain cafe has been a repeat offender. It has at least 3 very popular locations in Toronto. If one is shut down, the company has a shuttle to transport customers to a store that's open. Hey guys, I guess we're just wondering, we'd really like to talk to the operator.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Okay, why is it impossible?
Because they don't want to talk.
They don't want to talk? The cafe location on Bloor West was also closed down yesterday. The storefront windows were reinforced with steel to prevent trespassing, but someone broke in through the back entrance. Today, police and bylaw officers were back on scene to reinforce the premises yet again. Toronto Hydro was also there to cut off power.
We have trades on standby to come and facilitate what we need done. And, we have provincial funding that was provided to the municipalities for enforcement efforts, and we are using that money for these efforts.
Since October, the city has spent over $600,000 on cannabis enforcement. That comes from the $3 million in funding that was provided by the province. So far, 41 charges have been laid under the Cannabis Act. 15 of those cases are currently before the courts. The other 26 are still waiting for a court date. Do you think it's time for police to start laying criminal charges in cases like this?
I think there's a good argument to be made where somebody's less blatant disregard for the law, that they should feel the full force and weight of the laws.
Toronto police tell me they will never rule out federal charges if they believe organized crime is involved. Otherwise, they're enforcing rules under provincial legislation. In a statement, we're told this approach allows the TPS and the City of Toronto to effectively disrupt and close illegal dispensaries while continuing to devote the vast majority of drug enforcement to those involved in the illegal trafficking of narcotics that pose serious health risks for users, including fentanyl.
I'm not sure we're losing the battle, but obviously we have a particular group or operator here that is bound and determined to violate the law.
Now, of course, not everyone knows that this place is shut down right now, so customers are still stopping by hoping to get their pot. I can tell you that employees of Cafe have been organizing SUV shuttles to take these people to another location. It's at Spadina and Harvard. It's a cafe. It's part of the cafe chain that's still open and operating tonight. And coming up a little later on in the show, I'll tell you why one customer says these dispensaries are important to have in our city. Well, police were back on scene at the illegal pot shop cafe to shut it down for a third day in a row. This is a very popular location in the City Place neighborhood. In fact, police were here yesterday and put a steel door on the front of the unit, trying to keep this business closed for good. I'm being told, though, that last night someone actually broke through that window to get back inside. They restocked and reopened, and all day long, it's been business as usual. Officers arrived here again just after 4 this afternoon. I'm being told police were back to reinforce all the windows and entryways. As the city struggles to crack down on the illegal dispensaries, one customer called our newsroom. His name is Mike. He's living with a disability and tells me it's too expensive to legally buy the medical marijuana he needs. And that's why dispensaries like Cafe are important to have in our city.
This particular location was closed because the police raided it. But They gave me the address of another location, and I said because of a disability, I couldn't get there. So somebody hired a car to pick me up at that location, bring me to another location, and drop me back off again. And I couldn't believe that someone was willing to go out of their way that much to help me out. I couldn't believe it. That shows me that they're just not in it for the money. They want to help their community.
Well, that shuttle Mike was talking about, ever since cafe was closed down by police today, customers still dropping by, and I can tell you employees have been organizing an SUV shuttle to transport customers to another location at Spadina and Harbert Street. That's where it's open and operating. It's part of the cafe chain, and this is where people right now are being sent to buy their illegal pot. Now, I'm being told the city is currently investigating 20 illegal dispensaries in Toronto, and that raids and enforcement will continue.